Hey, it's Kelly K. Walker, and welcome to the Queen of Manifesting podcast. Today, I have a special guest, and she is amazing, and I am super excited to have her on here. I've known her for a while. She has been to lots of my events, and we've had lots of good sessions together, and she's amazing. So I would like to introduce Miss JaNae Francis. She is a hypnotist. She is an author, and she is a life coach, and she is a speaker, and she is amazing. So JaNae, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Woo, yay. I'm excited to have you. All right. So, of course, my podcast is about manifesting, and I am excited to have you on here because you have manifested a lot of stuff since I have met you.
Yes, for sure.
And so one of the things that I love about you is that you are always positive and always just like funny. Like, I don't even know if you're always meaning to be funny, but you just have such a cute, bubbly, fun personality that you are a joy to be around. So
thank you. I'll pay you later.
You're welcome. So I want you to tell us about, gosh, you make so many things. The first thing I saw you make was a deck of cards, which are amazing. So why don't you tell us how that happens and what your cards are? And then since I'll also put this on YouTube, you can show them while you talk about them. So if you're listening on the podcast, check out the YouTube channel to see her cards.
Awesome. Yeah, so I was going to a coach that was helping me be a life coach, and he challenged me to have a product. And the minute he said that, my brain exploded, and I knew exactly what I wanted. And that was to have positive affirmation cards. Here's one that says, "I am kind." And in addition to just having a positive affirmation at the top, there's also instructions. And I did a lot of research on each of the cards, on each of the subjects, and there would be volumes and volumes, and I would shrink that down into a few sentences. So they aren't just a few sentences that I threw out. They're all really well thought out instructions on the benefits of whatever card you've gotten. So for instance, on this one, "I am kind," it says, "I take time to let go of my goals and needs, focusing on others. I choose to see how a serving mindset ultimately serves me too." And there's also a quote on there by Maya Angelou. "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel."
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed sharing my cards with people. Right now I have 65 cards.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And so you could do a card a week for a whole year and still have some left over.
Totally.
Or you could do one a day for 2 months. What I like to talk to people about with my cards is that our emotions sometimes can get out of control if we don't address them. It's like a glass of water. There's a scripture that some people may have heard before about "my cup runneth over," and that talks about positive emotions, but it can also be the opposite can be true. If you just keep putting in more and more negative, then your cup runs over. And I call that kicking the cat. Right? The cat is your... Yeah, so the cat is totally innocent, but you have all these bad emotions because somebody pulled out in front of you, or your boss was mean, right? And you're focused on the outside instead of the inside, so you're feeling bad, and then the cat comes along and you kick it, right? The cat didn't do anything. So what I have people do with my cards is to drink that down so that their cup is not so full of negativity. And if you use the cards, then you'll randomly address different emotions so that you'll have room to address the big ones, because that's what we all want to do. We all want to address the big emotion, and that's hard to do if there's so many emotions in our body. So let me pick
Right.
another card. Oh, I love this one. This one's I am focused.
Oh, yes.
So on this one, I have an acronym for focus. Follow one course until successful. So a lot
That's so awesome.
Thank you. So a lot of people set goals and then a few days later they change their mind. And I've been guilty of this myself, right? But the directions on this one says, I am true to myself as I choose a 30-day goal. I commit to stay true to myself every day. I commit to not change my mind midstream. I choose empowerment. So the real power is in picking a goal and then staying with it.
Yes. That seems to be really hard to do for people.
Yes.
So that's a very good card. Stay focused until successful. I love that.
Right. So when you set your goal, you want to really think it through. And it's that one that you can actually do and stay with.
Do you have any advice for somebody that's trying to pick a goal that they're going to commit to?
Yes, I think it's important to talk to other people and to be honest with yourself. So other people will give you some feedback like, oh, remember you had that goal before, or remember this, remember that. And you will really want to, oh, I have some really good advice about a 30-day goal. I just remembered. It's called the floor and the ceiling. So the ceiling is that excitement that we have when we say, I'm going to lose 30 pounds in the next 30 days. Right. And so we get so excited and we tell everyone how we're going to be on this specific diet and all these things. And then what happens is 5 days in, we have a bad day and we eat a chocolate cake.
Oh, no.
And then we say, oh, I've ruined it. Okay, it's all over. Done. But the thing to remember instead of that is the floor. So the floor is the minimum that you do to be able to meet your goal that day. So if my goal is to eat better every day, then I can make sure I have a carrot every day.
That's perfect.
Right? And so if I mess up one day and eat a chocolate cake, I still ate my carrot. And so our brain is programmed to say, JaNae is going to eat better every day. And here's proof. She ate a carrot today. And you want to focus on that thing. Or what if your goal is to exercise every day? Right? Everybody is at the gym on January 1st or maybe January 2nd, the day after the holiday. So everybody's at the gym that day. But 10 days in, they have a bad day. They don't go to the gym. And then they say, well, I ruined it. My goal was to work out every day. I messed up this day. And so then they don't go back. If we remember the floor, then on that bad day when our child is sick and when we have this major deadline at work and all of these things are piling up and we don't have an hour to work out, we can still put on our gym shoes. We can still go outside and walk around the house. And then our brain knows that JaNae worked out today, right?
Yes.
Because you did the floor. So that's my advice for goal setting is the floor is just as important as the ceiling.
I have never heard that and I totally love it.
That
makes it so much more doable.
Yes, because the idea is to program your brain every day. You get to decide how you feel. You get to decide what you're going to put into your brain. And that is what I'm doing with these cards, right? I'm giving you affirmations. This is another one. I am efficient.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes.
So anytime you say the words I am, you're making a declaration. So be careful what you say after the word I am.
Right?
Because if you say I am tired, you just declared that you're tired. So your subconscious back here hears you say, I am tired. Oh, okay, she wants to be tired. And then you're going to see more tiredness.
Yes.
If you're careful and say positive things like this one, I am efficient, then your subconscious mind is going to find evidence of you being efficient.
Yes, I love that. The whole reticular activating system is amazing. And I love that so many people teach it and that we all teach it slightly differently so that we can all understand it. And affirmations are great for that. You got to train our brain to see what we want to see because what we focus on grows. So what are you focusing on? What are you talking about? What are your words? What are you calling into existence every day by what you say out loud?
Right. So if you're going to make an affirmation, make sure it's a positive affirmation.
Yes. Because so many people make negative affirmations all day long and don't realize what they're doing. Right.
So I have a great word for that. Let's say you are halfway through a negative affirmation and you catch yourself.
Yeah.
And you say, I don't know how to do that. And that programs your brain to that you won't ever be able to do that. But if you add the word, yet, that opens your mind back up. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that yet. Then your mind believes that there will be a day when you'll be able to do it.
I love it. Genius.
Thank you.
Smart. So I hear you have a thing about talking bad to yourself. You have a name for it even, and the whole thing. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes. So on the back of my cards, you may have seen that there's this thing about potty talk. Stop the potty talk. And I have a website, stopthepottytalk.com. So I'm hoping everyone will go to this website after seeing this podcast. And potty talk is not at all what people think. Potty talk is when we say negative words that affect us in a negative way. And there's so many words that people don't realize are negative. And they're all in this book that I'd like to talk about. It's a little booklet called Stop Potty Talk.
I love your little book. I have a copy of your book.
Awesome. So it's just a total coincidence. This doesn't mean one thing, not one thing at all. There's yellow pages and brown pages in the book.
Total coincidence.
Total coincidence. I don't know why I chose this color. Right. The yellow pages are called potty training.
Oh.
And they have a little kid doing the potty training.
Awesome.
Up in the corner. And
love it.
I'm working with this mirror image and learning how to do that. And then the brown pages, they look like Facebook posts, and they have lists of things, words to avoid. So the brown pages are more what to eliminate, and the yellow pages are like adding, because we all want to drink more water, right? So add things.
You're so funny. I love it. You have an amazing brain and a gift for words. And I mean, obviously, because you used to be a reporter and you're a writer.
Yeah.
So you have such a good way with words. I love it.
Thank you.
So what's the most common potty talk you see people doing?
Oh, the worst potty talk word is try. So trying
about that.
Yeah, trying is lying, and it's permission to fail in advance. So, for instance, your neighbor calls you and says, we're having a dinner Friday night. We want you to come, but you don't really want to go. And so rather than saying, no, I can't, I have these other plans or whatever, you say, I'll try to be there, because you're lying, right?
Oh, no.
And so your neighbor does not believe that you don't want to be there because you said, I'll try.
Yeah.
And so the neighbor sets a place at the table, watches the clock, waits around, and you don't show up. And you never intended to go in the first place. So you're not worried about anything, right? Because your definition of trying was like, okay, if nothing else comes up, if I remember, I don't know what you meant by trying, but you didn't mean that you'd actually be there. So now your neighbor doesn't like you anymore. And it's all because you lied. You said try.
Yes. Oh.
And there's so many other things too. Like this pen, for instance. If I threw it out and put it in front of you and said, Kelly, try to pick up that pen, right? You can't try to pick it up. You can either pick it up or you can leave it there. Really no trying.
That's what Yoda says.
Yep. There's no try, only do.
Yes, exactly.
So catch yourself saying try and tell the truth. Don't say
the little white lie thing, that's really common because people don't want to say how they really feel because they might hurt somebody's feelings. So how do you How do you help people who are trying to be more honest?
Just that. I tell them to be honest. It's better to hurt your neighbor's feelings in a little way and being totally honest.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, on Friday night, I do this, this, and this, and that's the night of your dinner, and I won't be able to make it. It's much better to be forthright.
I agree.
And then your neighbor will have respect for you.
Yes, true. Because
Mhm.
otherwise it just creates bad feelings, and that's not good.
That's
The
it.
what is it? Unmet expectations is a big problem with relationships. And
Right.
most of the time, the expectations are in one person's head and not the other one's.
Right. That's what they taught us in hypnotherapy school, that all anger is unmet expectations. So literally, if you address your expectations and have no expectations, you literally have no reason to ever be angry.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Wow.
Which
I
brings
have,
me to another thing in my book is make, right? People don't make you angry. You make yourself angry by your expectations.
that's true. That's true. It's all in your own head. You choose your emotions and your thoughts. Have you ever read about the Woody Woodward's book, The Emotional Fingerprint?
No, but I'm writing that down.
Oh, good. It's a good one. It's about things that trigger us, things that make us angry, and why we choose to let them make us angry. And I love that book because I do tend to get a little bit of a cranky attitude sometimes.
Mhm.
And I've been really working on it because I don't want to be a cranky person. And so I love that book for one way to stop being cranky. It's awesome. And then affirmations and gratitude all help you also not be cranky.
Right. So when we're mad at, what I found in hypnotherapy is it's not ever the reason we think. It's usually something that goes way back. It's a teacher that said a mean thing to us, and we made a decision about ourselves. And we said to ourselves, I'm never going to let anybody treat me that way again. And so now somebody says something that reminds us of that, and then we blow up. And I help people go back and change that moment and rewrite it, because your subconscious mind back here doesn't know the difference between a memory and an imagination. So we can go back and reimagine any memory to be different, and then we can feel better because our younger self is still alive inside of ourselves. And if we can meet the need of that younger self, then we can relax and not be triggered so much.
I love that. I heard once that the quality of our memories of our past is so bad and sketchy that we can pretty much decide that we had whatever past we want to have had.
Isn't that so awesome?
Yeah, we can picture it even more clearly than what actually happened, and then replace our memories with good ones. I really like that.
Yeah, so I like to have people, have older, wiser them go back and say whatever it is to the person that they wish they could have said.
Oh, that's really good. That's awesome.
And the big question usually is that your intention for me to still be upset 30 years later? What you're saying right now? And the person's always no. And then when the people apologize, they don't just want you to be the same person that you would have been had they not offended you. That's never what they want. What they want is for you to be even better than you would have been had they never offended you.
Exactly.
So we can totally imagine them saying that. I want you to be so much better.
I love it. Our imaginations are so powerful. It's amazing. So, JaNae, what got you into being a hypnotherapist?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Thank
I had a 25-year forgiveness journey that started with one day I was with my husband and we were being romantic and it was supposed to be all awesome. And I had this memory of being molested that just popped into my head.
Wow.
And it was really scary, and I didn't know what to do. And I started on this forgiveness journey. And I tried all different things. And I had a faith column in the Standard Examiner. And most of my faith columns ended up being about forgiveness. And I would use all kinds of scriptures and quotes from all different faiths. It wasn't about a particular faith. It was about faith principles in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I would talk about that. And then it led to other faith principles too. And people really, really liked it. My very first column, I wasn't hired as a columnist, but what happened was I was dyeing this dress with my daughter. We were out of money and we needed a red dress for this cruise that she was going on. She had won a national pageant and all the winners were going together and they all had to dress alike. And I had to come up with some money for, I just potty talked myself. I got to the money for me going. So she was all paid for, but I needed to pay for my cruise and she needed all these outfits. And so we were pretty much out of money. And she had found this wedding dress that had been a Halloween costume in the closet. And she brought it up and she said, what if this was red? And we were like, okay, let's do it. So we dyed this dress red, but we forgot one important thing. That is dry clean only material can't be washed and you wash it to dye it. We pulled it out of the wash machine and it was all wrinkled. And we started to cry because it wasn't the beautiful dress that we had imagined it. But then we made this decision and this changed my whole life. We made this decision and it was to embrace the wrinkles. And so we made the wrinkles part of our design of the dress. And then we made the dress super crazy. We did crazy fun stuff with this dress. The skirt part, we had it all uneven and we pulled it up and put like rhinestones in the different places and it looked like something from another century when we were done. It was super cute. And then that's when I realized I could write a column about this dress. And the column said, our life is, we think we can plan our lives just like we thought we could plan how to dye this dress. But what happens is wrinkles come because the universe or God or whoever you believe in, they have a different plan for our lives. And these wrinkles come, it could be a disease, a death, all these things happen. And life ends up being about how you address the wrinkles.
Oh, I love that.
I love it too. And I wrote this column about this red dress. And it was awesome when people came up to me after and said they liked my column. But what was terrific, way better than awesome, was when men came up and said it. And I would be like, you read a column about a dress. And B, you liked it. And after that, I asked if I could write a column every month. And in the end, in 2017, I was named the top columnist by the Utah Press Association.
Oh my gosh.
It was so exciting. And it was for a column about a mom who realized she had terminal cancer, but she was pregnant. And she had decided not to get any treatments because she wanted to give her baby a chance at life. And and on Facebook, I had found the final letter she had written to her husband. She was about to pass away. And I wrote a column about that. And that was the one that won.
Wow. That's amazing. You are so multi-talented.
Thank you.
I would love to see a picture of that dress.
Okay. I have my book and it has a picture in it. So I'll be able to show it to you.
Perfect. I love that. Maybe we could do a link in the show notes if other people want to go see the dress too.
Awesome. Yes, I have the actual dress here too.
Yay!
It's in the other room.
That'd be so fun to see. So Potty Talk, you help people with more than just the cards in the book, right? You do
I have a class called Stop the
Yes.
Potty Talk, and it's coming up. People can register if they go to stopthepottytalk.com.
Awesome.
And I have a team teacher, and he is a man who's really, really good at getting inside of yourself and concentrating on that really deep soul that you have, that the deep soul that can't be offended, the deep soul that sees your worth and can let go of all of this outside stuff. So it's going to be super fun.
Sounds
and
amazing.
Bright, and people will be able to address not only how they talk, but how they feel. And because your potty talk is also about what you say to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can learn to say only positive to yourself, then you could be so much happier.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Think of the things we could do if our talk to ourselves was only positive. We'd be completely different people.
That's right. And if you do something that you're not totally happy with, let's say you get mad and tell someone off, if you can back up and observe what just happened, and then back up some more and realize what led up to it. Because as we're on this path of improving ourselves and going forward every day, if we can learn from those things, then next time will be so much better. Because we're always either doing one of two things. We're always either learning or we're winning. Right? So if you win, great, have a big party. If you don't win, you were learning.
Yes.
That means you'll be so much better next time. And this has really helped me in everything. Because if I'm driving down the street and I'm practicing my gratitude, then if somebody pulls out in front of me, if I don't hit them for sure, they pull out in front of me, I don't get in a wreck, then I can be grateful for that moment, because it helps me realize that only happens a very few times in a week. And I'm grateful for all the times that it didn't happen.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it. I love that.
Right.
Yay. So do you do your class more than once?
Mm-hmm. Yes. The class is for 4 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And it starts this Wednesday at 4 p.m. And if people want to come at a different time, if that's a bad time for them, then they can register, and those extra people, I'll get together with them and find out what time works best for most of them.
Oh, awesome. So if people are listening while this is current, that is November 17th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
November 17th at 4 p.m. is when the first class is.
Yeah.
And
so you get to go to one free one. So it'll actually be 5 weeks.
Oh, cool. And to register, they go to
stopthepottytalk.com.
stopthepottytalk.com. And so if somebody hears this in the future, they should still go to that website to look for the next time you're teaching it?
Yes.
Or
to say, I'm interested, so that when I gather the names, I can do other times that work for people.
Oh, good. Do you have a contact form on your website?
Yes.
Perfect. That's great. All right. I forgot to ask you this beforehand, but I always like to ask my interviewees if they would like to offer any free gift to my listeners. I should have asked you beforehand, but JaNae, I bet you do.
Yes.
Yay.
I love to do free things. And I would do a free consultation with anybody who registers. And usually that consultation ends up being a belief breakthrough. And it's super fun to go back and rewrite a negative belief that you have and see the power of changing that around.
That's actually really, really valuable. That's a high value free item. So, wow, thank you.
Thank you. So
if they register for Stop the Potty Talk, they will get a free session with you, a consultation, which will probably become a belief breakthrough, which we both love very much. They're amazing. Changed I know they've changed my life for sure. All right. Before we head out, is there anything that you would like to leave with the listeners? Any words of wisdom, your favorite quote, anything like that?
Ooh, that's a really great question. I feel like I have some more words to work on that we could go over.
Okay.
That are in my book. We kind of touched on them, but we didn't really go into much detail. Oh, fair. Fair is a bad potty word.
Fair is?
Yes, we get caught up in that's not fair.
Yes.
If we think about it, life is not designed to be fair. We're all having a completely different experience.
Yeah.
And we totally get to decide and co-create what our life is going to be. So if we can let go of this worrying about what's fair, just let go of it right from the beginning, then we'll be a lot happier.
I love that. Good idea.
And then also just accepting things about ourselves. For years,
instead of judging?
No, accepting negativity about ourselves. Like for years, I used to say, that's just the way I am.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And my mom would help me with that. She'd say to people, well, you know how she is.
Oh.
Right? Yeah. So we don't want to do that, right? We want to look for the ways that we can improve, and we want to talk positively to ourselves that we can actually do it. So don't just say that's the way I am. Instead, say I am learning, right? I am learning to listen to people. I'm learning to stand up for myself. I'm learning to be calm in a stressful situation. For sure, you don't want to have any of those declarations that say, I just regularly lose my temper, right? Because then your subconscious mind says, oh, JaNae wants to lose her temper all the time.
So then everything makes you mad that normally wouldn't bother you at all.
Right. And also make is bad, Kelly.
What is?
Make me. Right?
Make me. Oh, yeah. You make me so mad. That kind of thing.
Yeah. You're always deciding. You're deciding to be mad. Yes. You're deciding what mood you're going to be in. You're deciding all of that. So make the right decision.
I love that. If you're going to make something, make the right decision.
I guess that's the thought that I want to leave with people is there's no more awesome word in the English dictionary, in the English language than awesome.
I love that word too.
So just decide to be awesome.
Today I am awesome. Today you are awesome. Everything is awesome. Yeah, there's even a song.
Yep, just like the Lego song.
Just like the Lego song. I love it.
Just decide to be awesome.
All right. Thanks for coming. You're adorable. I love talking to you. How can people get in touch with you?
Yes, I'll leave you my phone number. I do best with text. So texting me is awesome. 801-645-9646. There's also stopthepottytalk.com. You can get a hold of me through that. And I also have another website, powerwithpeace.com.
Nice. All right. And I will put all of those, the phone number and the links in the show notes so people can go on and click on them in case they're driving or something and they couldn't write them down at the moment.
And I'll send you a picture of the dress.
Yes. You know what? I'll put the dress on the website. So I have a website, and every episode I make a post. I will include the picture of the dress. So everybody go to thequeenofmanifesting.com, click on podcast, and you can see the red dress. I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's super awesome.
Yay. All right. Well, you were a great guest. Thanks for coming. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule, and have an awesome rest of your day.
You too, Kelly, and thanks for having me.
You're welcome.